If your vacation rental feels like a full-time job with part-time income, you're not alone. This episode uncovers the real reasons behind low profitability and why more effort is rarely the answer. This is the quiet exhaustion no one talks about. You wake up early, you check messages before coffee, you reply to guests while brushing your teeth. By midday, you've already handled cleaning issues, answered 3 booking inquiries, double checked your calendar. And by the time you sit down in the evening, you think, I've worked all day, but did I actually move my business forward? That quiet question sits heavy, doesn't it? Because here's the truth most people won't say out loud. Running a vacation rental can feel like working 2 jobs, one you expect and one you didn't. You expected hosting, you didn't expect constant reacting. And this matters right now more than ever because the market has changed. More listings, more competition, higher guest expectations, rising costs. So working harder no longer guarantees better results. In fact, for many owners, it does the opposite. It leads to burnout without better profit. Today, I'm going to talk about something that hits close to home for most independent owners. Are you working too much for too little profit? And more importantly, why? Now, I want to reassure you straight away. This isn't about doing something wrong. It's about the way the business quietly grows around you until you're carrying more than you realize. Your detailed focus. You care deeply about your guests. You want everything to feel personal. But that same strength can become your biggest strain. And I'm going to unpack that in this episode. And near the end, I'm going to share one simple shift that many owners overlook. It's not flashy, but it can help change everything. But before we get there, let me ask you something. When was the last time you finished a full day of working on your rental and felt genuinely satisfied with the progress you made? Not busy, not exhausted, satisfied. Drop your answer in the comments. So let's look at the problem. You're busy, but not building. Let's name what's really going on. You're not lazy. You're not disorganized. You're not bad at business. You're busy doing the wrong type of work. And that's a very different problem. Most vacation rental owners fall into what I call the active trap. It feels productive, it looks productive, but it doesn't actually grow your business. Think about your day. You respond to messages quickly. You manage turnovers. You adjust bookings. You solve problems as they pop up. That's work. But it's reactive work. Success is not about more bookings. It's about building a profitable system, not just staying busy. But most owners never make that shift. Why? Because businesses grow in layers. At first, it's simple. One property, a few bookings. Everything feels manageable. Then it builds. More guests, more expectations, more decisions. And instead of building systems, you build habits, manual habits. And slowly, something strange happens. You start working more, but earning doesn't keep up. This is where many owners quietly get stuck. Not because they lack effort, but because they're solving the wrong problem. They think, I need more bookings. But the real issue is, I need better structure. And until that clicks, the cycle continues. So what should you look for? Here are the hidden signs that you're stuck in the loop, because this part matters. If you want to understand whether you're working too much for too little profit, you need to spot the patterns, not the obvious ones, the quiet ones. You feel busy, but not in control. This is the first sign. Your day feels full, but you're not focused. You jump from task to task. Messages, cleaning coordination, calendar updates. There's no clear start, and there's no clear finish. Just motion. And that mental load, it drains more energy than the work itself. Your income feels unpredictable. One month looks great, the next feels tight. Even when bookings are steady, that's the big clue, because it often means your pricing costs or systems are not aligned. You're working hard, but the business lacks structure underneath. You solve problems instead of preventing them. Guests can't find the instructions. Cleaning is delayed. Something breaks unexpectedly. These things happen, but if they happen often, that's not bad luck. That is a systems gap, and system gaps create more work. It's not you, it's the way you're running it. I'm going to shift the perspective a little bit, because this is where the relief starts. Most owners tell themselves, I just need to work harder, or I just need to be more organized. But that's not the real issue. You don't need more effort. You need less friction. That's what systems do. They reduce repeat effort. And here's the part many people resist. Systems do not remove the personal touch. They protect it. This directly challenges a big myth that automation makes hosting feel cold. It doesn't. It creates space for better moments. And when you're not overwhelmed, you can write a thoughtful welcome message, add a meaningful guest touch, respond calmly instead of quickly. That's real hospitality. And this is where the shift happens. From I'll do everything myself to my business supports me. That's the difference between burnout and control. Start measuring what actually matters. Now keep it simple because you don't need a complete overhaul. You can start with one shift. Start tracking where your time goes. Not perfectly, just honestly, for a week. Write down messaging, cleaning coordination, admin, problem solving, and then ask which of these repeat. Which of these could be simplified? Because here's the insight most owners miss. Time leaks create profit leaks. If you spend hours on tasks that don't increase profit, your profit suffers, not because of effort, but because of focus. It's not about perfection, it's about awareness. Once you see the pattern, you can change it. What's one task you spend too much time on each week in your rental? Let me know in the comments. Here are your key takeaways. Busy doesn't equal profitability. Reactive work drains energy. Systems reduce your workload. Time leaks hurt profit. Awareness creates change. If you take one thing from today, let it be this. You are not working too much because you're doing it all wrong. You're working too much because your business has grown, but your business structure hasn't caught up yet. That's it. And once you see that, something will shift. You stop blaming yourself. You start adjusting the way you operate. That's where calm begins. That's where clarity returns. And that's where profit starts to follow effort. If this helped, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you'd like to support what we do, you can always buy us a coffee. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just need the right next step. Thanks for listening, and I will see you next time.